Alrighty, what's up everybody? Peter Gilmer here on this late Monday night. Back to you again with another video right here on Killer of Demons 669. Thank you all for watching, and as always, make sure you like this video, hit that subscribe button down below on this channel and all my other channels, which are down below in the description box, and friend me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter, and share this video all over the internet. But most importantly, tap that bell to turn on all my notifications so you know when I go live, and you can come in the chat and you can talk to me and ask me anything you want, within reason, of course. So hit that like, smash that like button to death. Subscribe, share the video, hit the bell to get notified when I go live, so you don't miss a beat. Because if you miss out, you're lost. That's all I got to say about that. All right, on this soon to be very late Monday night, and a lot of people say, why do you do streams so late at night? Well, I got things to do. I'm sorry. I can't do them right after Monday Night Raw. I can't do them right after Dynamite, or right after NXT, or after SmackDown, or after a pay-per-view, whatever. I got things to do. I got to be with the missus. I got to eat. I got to, sometimes I have to work. So if you don't like it, well, tough shit. You don't have to watch. You can go jack off for all I care. If you're in the West Coast, or you're from a different country, you're watching, how you doing? Thank you for staying up with me. And that's all I got to say about that. But if you're in the East Coast or the Midwest or whatever, and you don't want to watch a stream at almost 2 o'clock in the morning and goes to maybe 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, then fuck you. Simple. Don't watch the video. Go watch porn. Go play with yourself. Go watch somebody else. I don't care. I can do whatever I want on this channel. I can do a stream when I fucking please. I can do a stream at 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm dead fucking tired. I'll do a fucking stream at 5 o'clock in the morning. Not when the missus is here, of course, when I'm alone, like I am now. Like I said, if you don't like me doing late night streams, then fuck you. That's all I gotta say about that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, on this late Monday night, August the 3rd, 2020. If you're watching from somewhere else, it is now August the 4th, 2020. It is time for your late night, Monday Night Raw review for August the 3rd, 2020 from the Performance Center in Orlando, Florida. Yes, return of the Raw review. Sorry I didn't do it last week. I was going to do it, and then I just didn't. I didn't have any energy or passion to do it. So I did SmackDown, I did AEW, I did NXT. So go on my respective channels where you can watch that and watch the videos. Give them a like, share the video. You know what to do. That's all I gotta say for that. And also in the description box below is my video from earlier in the day talking about The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, buying the XFL for $15 million. And my thoughts on that. Not that I give two shits. It is what it is. So we'll see what happens with The Rock and the XFL. Couldn't make it any worse than when Vince bought it. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Where The Rock is going to take the XFL and when the XFL is going to come back. Supposedly it happened this year. I must have missed it. Happened earlier this season, this year. I must have missed it because I thought it happened last year. Oh well. Okay. But link to the video on the Peter Gilmer YouTube wrestling channel. Link to the video down below in the description box. So check it out. Give it a like. Give it a thumbs up. share the video all over the internet, subscribe, leave a comment or two. And that's pretty much all I got to say about that. Alrighty. Let's get to Monday Night Raw. As we are now just under 3 weeks away. We're about 2 weeks away from the hottest party in the summer, SummerSlam, coming your way August the 23rd. We got TakeOver 30 the night before. Oh, that's gonna be an interesting night of action because earlier today, AEW announced that they're gonna have some scheduling conflicts with the NBA, which sucks. So the August 19th show will be on Saturday at 6 o'clock, or Saturday, August the 22nd at 6 o'clock. So set your DVRs. So that's going to be a nice lead-in to TakeOver. I can only imagine what the ratings are going to be for that. So the ratings are gonna be different for those 3 weeks coming up. The next 3 weeks of action on for AEW. The next 3 episodes. Well, not the next 3. I think the 19th, the 26th is going to be on a Thursday night. I believe at 8 p.m. So that should be pretty interesting. And then I think the September 16th edition of, let me check my. Yes, the September 16th edition of AEW Dynamite will be on the next night, September the 17th at 8 p.m. on TNT. So blame the NBA for the scheduling crap. That's all I got to say about that. Blame the NBA. But August 22nd is going to be a big night. You got Dynamite. You know, it's going to be tapes. We all know it's taped, so we're going to get Impact. Dynamite, not on Wednesday night, because we're going to have basketball on Wednesday night. So don't bother watching it. Watch NXT. I guess they're going to win the ratings the next those 2 weeks that AEW is not going to be on Wednesday night. So you get that. So NXT might win in the ratings, but we'll see. You never know. But like I said, August 22nd, gonna be a big night. You got Dynamite at 6 o'clock on TNT, and then right at 8 o'clock, you got NXT TakeOver 30, which is gonna be a great show. So we'll see who wins the war. Well, I don't think it's going to be a war. It's going to be who wins the night, actually. What people are going to be more invested in. I would think TakeOver. So I think TakeOver is going to win the night and be the better of the weekend, of that weekend. Of course, usually TakeOver is way better than the next, whatever the WWE puts out. SummerSlam, they're formulating the card now. Got a couple decent matches I'm actually intrigued to look at. Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton and his Bloodless Boys for the WWE title. Let's see what happens with that. We had another match announced near the end of the show. We had that. We might have another match being announced next week. Might have some stuff on SmackDown this week. But we shall see what happens when we get to that. And that's that. So there's your scheduling for AEW after the August 12th edition of Dynamite. Like I said, August the 19th. There will be no Dynamite on Wednesday night. It'll be on Saturday night, August the 22nd at 6 p.m. And then the week after, there will be no Dynamite on Wednesday night. It'll be on the following night, August the 27th at 8 p.m. in its regular time slot. That should be good. And then September 16th, no Dynamite. It'll be on the next night, September 17th at 8 p.m. on TNT. All this due to the NBA. I think the playoffs are going to start, or they're just going to start with, having games during the week. So just think of this as, like when Raw was taped due to the Westminster Dog Show. Just think of that. But you get the dog show for 3 weeks, So it's going to be interesting, and we'll see how the ratings are going to be. And that's pretty much all I can say about that. Got some good stuff coming up in the next couple weeks. And that's that. All right, let's consult the chat. We got my good buddy Jock Rules 321, who likes to float around and come in, sometimes he'll chime in comments, but he's in my chat, so hello to you. He says, as soon as I saw Raw Underground, the concept, I was like, that's how you bring back Brock Lesnar. Maybe. But I'll get to Raw Underground and my thoughts on it in just a little bit. And I think you need to bring some popcorn or ice cream or a nice beverage, because I got a lot to say about Raw Underground and the whole idea by Shane McMahon. And I think the WWE, with their ratings going down the toilet, they were desperate. And they're like, oh, we got to get Shane McMahon back. We need a McMahon on TV. I mean, they had Stephanie last week. Well, not last week. I mean, a week or two. I think 2 weeks ago. Oh, no, it was last week. I was right, 2 weeks ago. Yeah, Stephanie come back, talking about Asuka and Sasha Banks made that match, which happened last week, where we all know Sasha won the belt on a count out, thanks to Bayley beating up my second wife, Kyrie. She's still nursing her wounds in my bed. I had to give her a nice deep massage, if you know what I mean. So I had that. And now, this week, this week we had Shane O'Mac and his new idea, Raw Underground. Like I said, I'll talk about that in just a little bit. But the chat room's open. You talk about Monday Night Raw, talk about AEW, talk about any fucking thing you want. Talk about this fucking tropical storm we're getting here in the Northeast tomorrow in a couple of hours. Going to be really rough in the morning here in the Northeast. From 11 a.m. to 3 a.m., we're getting a lot of rain. They're saying 2 to 4 inches of rain, maybe up to 6 inches of rain, flooding up to 1 to 2 feet, winds up to 35 to 50 miles an hour. It's going to be a fucking mess tomorrow. Good thing I'm off. I would have to leave really early if I had to work. But thankfully I don't. I have to go back Wednesday morning. So thankfully Wednesday is going to be a little bit better. And that's that. It's still going to be warm, but now the sun's going down around 8 o'clock. Pretty soon it's going to be down to 7 o'clock, and then by the time we hit November, it'll be down to about 4:30, 5 o'clock when we fall back, turn the clock back in beginning of November. So all the dog day, the end of summer is coming up in a couple weeks with Labor Day. Kids are they might go back to school. Who knows? Trump wants kids to go back to school. But you got to do it smart because of this fucking virus. So there might be a mix of remote learning and actual schools opening. I really think they should just go with remote learnings to save the kids from getting sick and getting their teachers and their parents and their friends sick. That's what I would do. But I'm not, the president of the United States. I wish I was, but I'm not. But it is what it is, and that's that. So that's that. And we move on from there. All right, let's get into Monday Night Raw. And Raw stunk for Monday Night Raw. I guess fucking stunk. We had and it was just bad. That's all I'm gonna say. It was fucking bad, and that's all I gotta say about that. We start off the show with the commentary team of Tom Stupid Idiot Phillips, Samoa Joe, and Byron Saxton. They welcome us to Monday Night Raw. Then the lights go out. And everybody's like, what the fuck's going on? And this happened most of the night. And I'll talk about that. So the lights will come back on. And then we hear the music of the United Champion, Apollo Crews. He comes out. He poses. With the old school United States belt. Not the one MVP has, but the old school belt. Gets on the top rope and poses. Then the lights go on again. And Byron's like, are we on the air? Are we still on the air? I don't know. And then Tom feels like there's some weather area and we're getting intermittent electricity issues. So one of the I think it was one of the Hurt Business. I think it was Bobby Lashley. Do a guy out the door and you see the door. You see daylight. Electrical issues, my fucking ass. And they were supposed to have this new faction tonight, and we barely saw him. And it was just security footage of 5 guys throwing Molotov cocktails at a makeshift electrical thing. That was it. I guess we're gonna find out more next week now. I don't know. I wonder who the 5 guys could be. Probably from NXT. Who else could it be? I joked on Twitter it was the Young Bucks and Cody, but I don't even think it's gonna. It was them, but we had that. So we had on and off glitches with the lights. The mics are all fucked up. I mean, I was like, it better be a fucking transformer that blew or something. I mean, it was somebody's playing a joke, like maybe Seth Rollins is playing a joke on us or something like that. It is what it is. So we get that. So then MVP comes out with the rest of the Hurt Business. Shelton Benjamin and Bobby Lashley comes out with his United States title. So then he gets in the ring, and the referee holds up both belts. So it looks like we're going to get a unification match. The winner gets both belts now. I don't know. So he gets on a mic before the match. He wants to drop some truth gems. Claims he is the rightful owner of the United States title. And he talks about Apollo didn't make it to the match because Lashley hurt his neck. Blah, blah, blah. And he says after tonight, when the ref counts 3, their beef is done. So no more title matches, no more rematches, none of this. Yeah, right. So we get that. And then we get they lock up. MVP monkey flips Apollo, but Apollo holds on. And then they go into a collar elbow tie-up. MVP goes behind, drops to the mat, knocks on the leg scissors. Apollo tries to break out of the hold with an elbow. And then he turns and he tries to press down the arms and spins out with a jackknife cover as MVP kicked out. Okay, it was pretty cool. Then we have the ever-popular Test of Strength. But MVP kicks the shin and hits a right hand. Sends Apollo to the corner, and then the lights start flickering again. And then MVP hits an uppercut, and then a right hand, and then he hits a suplex. Actually, Apollo comes back with a suplex for a near fall. Then Apollo works on the left arm from behind, drives his forearm into the side of the face, pulling the arm behind as Samoa Joe does his stuff on commentary, being a good heel. Was Joe a tweener? We don't know. I'll talk about Joe, what happened with Joe at the end of the show. Talk about that in a little bit. So Apollo hits a big kick to the side of the face. He shoves MVP into the ropes. And then Lashley and Shelton pull him out in the ring to save him. But Apollo hits the ropes and hits a flippy dippity dive over the top onto all three men, knocking them all down like bowling pins as we go to break. And we come back. As always, the heel comes back during the break. MVP has Apollo hurting in the center of the ring with a cravat. Keeps the hold on and looks like Apollo's about to fade. And it's just scratching at his hand. I don't know what was that about. MVP knocks him down, goes for a near fall, then he gets another near fall. He elbows the back of the neck, going after that injured neck that Apollo had. We found out that he had a bulging disc in his neck thanks to Bobby Lashley. That's why he was out at Extreme Rules. And he wasn't medically cleared. So then MVP drops Apollo for a near fall. He starts choking Apollo, focusing on the neck. The referee has to break it up. So he's going to work on Apollo. Apollo tries to elbow out of a move. MVP with a suplex and a float over for a near fall. And then once again, the lights flicker. Maybe the Undertaker was messing around with the lights. I don't know. You know, he has that aura and that mystique. He could do it. So it could have been the Undertaker. MVP shows some confusion. He's like, what the fuck is going on with the lights? That really distracted me. I was like, what the fuck? Every 5 seconds, like the fucking lights are going on and off. Fix your damn lights, man. Jesus Christ. But MVP sends Apollo into the ropes. MVP runs with a big boot, but Apollo sidestep and kicks the back of MVP's head. Then he goes to the second rope, hits a crossbody, and sends MVP in the corner and hits some running shoulder blocks, making MVP sends MVP reeling in the corner. And then Apollo rushes the corner, hits a big splash. Then he hits a spine buster for a near fall. MVP came back with a released German suplex. Apollo landed on his fucking neck, but he no-sold it. He picks up MVP, hits the Apollo bomb. 1, 2, 3. Apollo Crews wins the match, retains the old school United States belt, and he wins the new school United States title. So now he holds both belts. So I don't know what they're gonna do. I assume now he's got both belts. He's gonna throw away the old school belt. They have the new school belt. They're gonna go with that most likely. So we'll see what happens with that. So Apollo gets the win. And the match I gave 2.25 out of 5 stars. It wasn't a bad match. Apollo had he did his best, and I would have expected Lashley and Shelton to get involved, but they really didn't do much. And that was that. So Apollo withstands the Hurt Business and retains the United States title, and like I said, wins the new school MVP style United States title. And that's that. So like I said, match I gave 2.25 out of 5 stars. Afterwards, Lashley got pissed, comes in, tries for the Phil Nelson, but Apollo ran right out of the ring, holding up both of the belts. And MVP's pissed. He's with Shelton, and he's with Lashley. And then we go backstage with Charlie Caruso. And she's talking to Apollo about the match. He smiles, starts chuckling a little bit. So Charlie asks him about the big win. Apollo says that Lashley's strength is not unlike anyone he's ever imagined. He talks about the Phil Nelson putting him out. He says he sat in front of his TV and watched MVP for the last couple of weeks. And what hurt him the most, though, was his kids looking at him and saying that, I thought you were the U.S. champ, Daddy. And he wanted nothing more than to tell his kids that he was the champ. So he's going to take the old title, hang it in their bedroom. And he's like, he's asking, do you like the new look belt? I think it looks great. And Charles like, no, I think it looks great. He says, it looks good, doesn't it? So he thanks MVP. He really appreciates it. So we got that. And then right after, we go to ringside, where MVP is pissed and gets the mic. Mic doesn't work. Has to bang on the fucking mic because WWE can't get real equipment that works. This is what it is. So MVP says he wants to know what kind of operation the WWE are running. What's with the lights and the unsafe working environment? Yeah, with the lights go off, you know. Don't know what the fuck, what's going on. You could get fucking blindsided with a fucking baseball bat or something. Very, very dangerous. But it is what it is. He says Apollo should be ashamed of himself, just like everyone else. And he's like, that's how you win the match with the lights flickering, thinking you're the Undertaker. So he wants to explain something to us. He says Apollo didn't show up at Extreme Rules because Lashley left him hurting, staying at home. Then tonight he steals the United States title, and then MVP's like, I don't care about your wife, I don't care about your kids. What I care about is my rematch, and I want it. When? You know when? At SummerSlam. So we're gonna get a rematch for the United States title, MVP and Apollo Crews. We'll see if Apollo can once again beat MVP and withstand the Hurt Business, who will be at ringside most likely. And that's pretty much all I gotta say about that. So I gave all that 2.25 out of 5 stars, and now we got a second match at SummerSlam that will be for the United States title, and we'll see what happens with that over the next couple weeks. What happens with MVP, Lashley, Shelton, and Apollo. That's all I gotta say about that. But it's nice they're gonna get, it sucks they're gonna get rid of the old school United States belt because I was kind of getting used to it, even though it wasn't really defended much in the last few years. And now we got a brand new United States title, which looks fucking amazing. I'm actually starting to love it. It's growing on me. I love it. The look looks great. Now they would fix the Universal title. They would fix the women's tag team titles, the women's titles, and get rid of those ugly, disgusting looking tag titles. Then we can go somewhere. Then I would actually, like the WWE titles, but I don't. I don't even like I don't like the Intercontinental title. Looks like the Ring of Honor World title almost. And the fucking Cruiserweight belt looks like shit. The 24/7 title looks like a fucking olive, or as I call it, the Olive Garden title. Just get rid of that. Throw it in the dumpster. They need new belts. It's 2020. Time to get new belts. I mean, those Raw titles have been around from the one SmackDown titles. I think have been around for 10 years at least. Time to change them up. Same thing with the women's titles. They need to either unify it, bring back the old school Attitude Era Raw Women's title. Don't bring the Divas title back. That butterfly fucking shit. Get rid of that. Don't even think about bringing that back. Just bring back the old school Attitude Era Women's title. Just call it the Raw. Just call it the Women's title. Not Raw, not SmackDown. One belt. Just one belt, so we can get some opportunities for the lesser people like Naomi, like Liv Morgan, like Ruby Riott, like Natalya, like Lacey Evans and company. Because they're not getting opportunities. The same fucking people every fucking week. Same fucking champions too. If it's not Charlotte, it's Becky. If it's not Becky, it's Asuka. If it's not Asuka, it's Sasha Banks. If it's not Sasha, it's Bayley. We need new people as champion. I'm sorry. As much as I like Asuka, I like Asuka with a belt. You know, and I like Sasha with the belt. I'm not really a big fan of Bayley with the belt. But give it to somebody else. And pretty soon we're gonna have some new people with the belts. That's gonna be nice. That's all I gotta say about that. But I'll get to that in a minute. And that's pretty much all I gotta say about that. All right, let's go back to the chat. Now, this might be a long video, but it is what it is. I don't care. My good buddy Scott Casey Gale's in the chat. What's up, Scotty? Jay Rance and Attitude Era fans are defending Raw Underground. Well, fuck them. I don't know who Jay Rance is. I don't know who Attitude Era fans are. I mean, I assume they're pretty decent YouTubers, but I mean, it's your own opinion. And you're entitled to your own opinion, but my opinion matters the most. But I did not like Raw Underground. I didn't like the concept. Fucking Brawl for All 2.0, but just with MMA style, and it was fucking horrible. Well, but get the popcorn ready because the rant is gonna be coming up in a little bit. And that's that. Attitude Era fans are praising Raw Underground. Oh, you mean? Oh, I thought it was a YouTuber named Attitude Era fans, but okay. The people that love the Attitude Era are praising Raw Underground because it reminded them of the Brawl for All. Like I said, it's your own opinion. I thought it sucked. It was just a thing to bring back Shane because the ratings suck, and then Vince was like, "We gotta spice things up, brother." I don't think it did its job. Samoa Joe's creaming in his fucking pants. It's like, oh, I like this idea. I'm gonna get invested in this. I love it. Why don't you put Joe in it? He has some MMA background. And this would be perfect for Killer Kross. And Brock Lesnar. So like Jock Rules 321 said, they could bring Brock into this whole thing. I don't think that's a good way to bring him back, but they want to go that route, but it is what it is. So we'll see what happens. But like I said, I hated it. That's just my opinion. And if you don't like my opinion, well, fuck you. Because my opinion matters the most. And that's that. Jock Rules 321. The IC title is disrespectful. That's what it is. I don't think it's disrespectful. I just hate the fucking design of it. Why did they change it from the 1980s old school belt, which Cody Rhodes himself bought back? And they have to change it. Why do they have to change it? Why? Because it's 2020. We have to have new look belts. It's fucking hideous. I don't even like it. If the Intercontinental title looked like what the United States title looks like now, I wouldn't have a problem with it. But it just fucking looks hideous. It looks like the Ring of Honor World title. Not to say anything bad about the Ring of Honor World title. I like the old school Ring of Honor World title and the pure title, which they're bringing back, which I'm happy to bring back the old school look, which is awesome. But I'm not a big fan. I'm not that big of a fan of the new look Ring of Honor World title, the new look Ring of Honor tag team titles. I'm not a big fan of the 6-man titles, the way it looks. It just looks. I'm not a big fan of them. I mean, that's that. I mean, if you want to look, if you want belts that look good, go to AEW. The AEW World Title looks pretty damn good. Women's title, not so much. Tag titles look pretty damn good. The TNT title is supposed to get, from what Cody said on Twitter, I think it's supposed to debut in a couple of weeks. And he says it looks beautiful. The side plates look great and everything. That's what he said. But so in a couple of weeks, we're gonna get the new look TNT title. A couple months too late, but it is what it is. And then you go to other federations. You go to Impact. Most of the titles don't really. I mean, most of the titles are okay looking, but not great looking. CCW. I mean, they had the old school CCW belt looked pretty damn good. I mean, the CCW World Title now does look okay. Tag titles, they look all right. But by the way, anybody who follows CCW, we have a new world champion, Danny Demanto. He beat Joe Gacy for the title. So which pissed off my good buddy Mikey, because he hates the guy, and Danny Demanto hates Mikey. Talks about his mama a lot. It's what it is, but we have a new CCW world champion. So that's pretty nice. I mean, I was okay with Joe Gacy as champion, but I'd rather have like somebody like Stockade or Matt Tremont again, but or Black Keys when he had the belt. But it is what it is. So we got some new blood as a CCW world champion. It is what it is. And then New Japan, all those belts look great. All those belts look amazing. The Intercontinental title belt looks great. The World title, the Junior Heavyweight tag titles, the Junior Heavyweight the Junior Heavyweight title, the tag titles, the Junior Heavyweight tag titles, the Heavyweight tag titles, the United States title, which Jon Moxley has, looks pretty damn fucking good. Everything in New Japan looks good. Even Abe Mio and Pieter. Hot! The two hottest women in Japan. And both of them, you know what they are. I'm a dick. Because, as we all know, Japanese chicks love Italian men. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Even though I have a hot Mexican wife named Rosa, the Japanese chicks can't control themselves. I love you long time. I suck your dick long time. Ah! And then we have sushi. I digress. But it is what it is. I'm a fucking animal. I'm the fucking face of this fucking place. I get all the pussy. Not JD. Not anybody else. I get all the pussy around here. Because I'm a champ, bitch. And if you don't like it, fuck you. That's all I got to say about that. But yeah, the IC title, it looks like shit. All the WWE titles look like shit. Except for the United States title. That's the only good-looking belt right now. That's that. All right, Scott Casey Gale, would you ever try Dwayne Johnson's Teremana Tequila? And what do you think of him purchasing the XFL? I might try it. The tequila. I'm not a big tequila drinker. I'm like more of a Jack and Coke type of guy. Or rum and Coke, Jack and Coke, whatever you want. Henny and Coke, vodka and Coke. Don't try vodka cola. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I might give it a try. You know, Rosa would love it. I actually asked her if she wanted it. You know, she's a fucking alcoholic, but it is what it is. She'll probably like it and get drunk off it. But really, what I would love to try is the by Mr. Sammy Hagar Cabo Wabo tequila. That's what I want to try. That's what I want to try. Cabo Wabo tequila. Made by Sammy Hagar himself in Cabo Wabo. Mas tequila. That's all I'm going to say about that. And if you want my my thoughts on Dwayne purchasing the XFL, check out the link down below in the description box on my video on the Peter Gilmore YouTube wrestling channel. Give you my thoughts on that. But like I said in that video, I personally don't give two shits about The Rock purchasing the XFL. I mean, I'm a little bit interested, but I'm a little bit interested. See what The Rock can bring to the XFL. That's what I think. I don't know. I'm not you know, I'm not a big fan of The Rock. I used to be, but I'm not anymore. But like I said, I'll give it a chance. I'll give The Rock a chance to see what he can bring to the XFL, and when the XFL does come back, which maybe this year, maybe next year, with fans or with a few fans or with nobody. I don't know. We might not even have a football season, so if you need an alternative, bring back the XFL. Do it smart, of course. I would assume they're gonna have the same teams. Like the New York team. What was the name of the New York team? I forgot the name of the New York team. I think it was the Dragons or the Gladiators or some shit like that. I only watched like maybe 2 games from the New York team. They won the first game and then they got their butts kicked. I'm like, oh, typical New York team. Always lose. Oh, but Peter, the Yankees are 8-1. Fuck the Yankees! Fuck this season. I don't give 2 shits about this fucking baseball season. I don't care. It doesn't fucking count because it's not a full season. It's gonna have a fucking asterisk on your name when you win the fucking trophy. All I care about is next year when I have a full season, hopefully. I don't give 2 shits about this season. I'm sure the Mets won tonight. Oh, you know why? Because they had the Crominator on the mound, and he finally gets some fucking run support. But what happens? As always, the Mets fucking injury bug happens. Fucking Cano's hurt with a right groin pull. Rosario has a quad injury. McNeil has back stiffness. Had the whole thing with fucking Cespedes, that fucking pussy Cuban. Fuck Cespedes, man. Whole Mets organization is a fucking joke, man. I just can't wait until the Wilpons sell the fucking team. Then we can go somewhere. Right now, the way they run things is just a fucking joke. And I'm saying that as a Met fan. It's a fucking joke. And Cespedes is a fucking idiot. I mean, You're worried about fucking money. You know you're unhappy because you're not getting any playing time, and you have all these incentives. You want to be the MVP. Sure, you hit a home run your first game. Oh, Cespedes is back. Yeah, we're gonna have a great season. And then he's complaining. He's fucking complaining about fucking money, and he's not getting any time, any playing time. So he's like, I don't like this. I'm quitting because of COVID. Bullshit. And then the worst thing is, he doesn't even tell the team he's leaving until near the end of the game, which they're already losing. How fucked up is that? Fucking classless fucking bum. Get the fuck out of New York, you classless fucking bum. Injury-prone fucking bum. The only thing he did was help us get to the World Series in 2015 and help us out a little bit in 2016. And then the last 3 years, fucking get injured. Fucking classless fucking bum. That's all I gotta say about that. That's my rant of the night. But I got more. Get ready. I got more. That's all I gotta say about that. I talked enough about that. Jacques Rules, that's what I meant to say. The design of the Intercontinental titles is disrespectful. Yep. Disrespectful to the 1980s and the guys who've held it before. Like Don Morocco, like the Macho Man Randy Savage. Ooh, yeah, dig it. Like Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Like Cody Rhodes, like Dolph Ziggler, like The Miz. Great champions. Like Chris Jericho, the 10-time Intercontinental Champion. One of the greats. But like I said, when Cody brought back the 1980s, the old school belt, I was happy. I was like, yeah, old school, yes. Because I'm an old school fucking guy. I grew up with the WWE in the 80s, Even though I first grew up with WCCW and the AWA and a little bit of the NWA. But I grew up with the WWE, well, then the WWF. I went to WrestleMania 1 at Madison Square Garden to see Hulk Hogan and Mr. T, dude, take on Roddy Piper and Cowboy Bob Orton. I was there when Andre slammed Big John Studd and won that money. And I was at WrestleMania 10, WrestleMania 20 at the Garden. And all the other events that happened at the Garden, like the Royal Rumble and SummerSlam and SummerSlam 88, I think it was 88 or 90 something, where Match Made in Hell, Match Made in Heaven, Match Made in Hell, when the Macho Man got married to Miss Elizabeth, yeah. And then that guerrilla warfare match between Hulk Hogan and Sergeant Slaughter. I was there, man. And they're actually replaying SummerSlam 92, one of the all-time great SummerSlam, probably the best SummerSlam of all time, when they were in the UK, when the British Bulldog beat Bret Hart for the Intercontinental title, one of the best, not the best, but one of the best Intercontinental title matches of all time. But we all know the greatest Intercontinental title match of all time is Ricky the Dragon Steamboat and the Macho Man Randy Savage at WrestleMania 3. That is the all-time greatest Intercontinental title match of all time. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Number 2 is Davey Boy Smith, the British Bulldog, against Bret Hart for the Intercontinental title at SummerSlam 92, which was great. Best SummerSlam of all time. Prove me wrong on that one too. Prove me wrong. I mean, really. You want to debate? Let's debate. I'll win, but I'll get my points in. That's that. All right, we're gonna get back to Raw in just a little bit. All right, we got my good buddy from Mexico, Javier Alejandro Pansecasa. Says hello. What's up, Javier? How you doing? How is everything in Mexico? Hope everything's good in Mexico. He says he liked Raw. That's your opinion. I personally didn't like it. That's that. And we're going live chat here. So, Raw Underground sounds like ECW, but in a PG version. Nah. Raw Underground reminded me of Brawl for Honor in the Attitude Era. Just instead of boxing, you got MMA. Now I'll get to that in a little bit. And that's that. Chuck Rules 321. Peter, in my humble opinion, I think you should do a rant on the Universal title. I might. Because Universal title's a fucking joke. Everybody who's held it, except for maybe Seth Rollins. And Kevin Owens. But I might do a rant. I haven't done a rant in like 3 months, so I think we're due for one, aren't we? I think we're due for a rant. So maybe I really got nothing really to do over the next 11 days because my girlfriend's in Florida. So I might do a rant. I might. If you good, but it is what it is. But I might do that rant. I might. That's give me a good idea, my good friend Jock. But that's a good idea. I might do a rant on the Universal title on how cheesy and disgusting it is, and it is what it is, and that's that. Javier Alejandro Pansecasa says, "Oh no, who made you mad, bro? Hit a rhymed. Nice rhyme. Are you Sean Street Entertainment? No, I'm kidding. Don't rhyme like Sean Street Entertainment. That one. But it is what I just had a bad day. I'm just pissed off. I'm just pissed off with with the state of wrestling the way it is right now. Besides AEW, I'm just pissed. The whole thing with the Mets and Cespedes and this fucking virus and everybody's pissed. Everybody's fucking pissed. The fucking virus is spiking in different parts of America, in different states. People can't go to work. They can't get their money because the $600 that they've been getting is expiring, and Congress is trying to set up a new deal, but I think it was Nancy Pelosi wants to do instead of $600, she wants to scale it down to maybe like $200 a week. I mean, how are people going to live on $200 a fucking week? I personally like the $600 myself, but it is what it is. But you got that, you got riots and protests in like cities like Seattle and Portland and other parts of the country. Fucking crime has gone up in the cities, especially in Chicago, New York City. People are getting killed. I mean, I saw a video of these two thugs shooting at a random car. I mean, people could have got seriously hurt. If God forbid the fucking bullet went off the car and went ping, ricocheted or something like that. Could have hurt. I mean, thank God that nobody was outside, like little kids, like babies and stuff. Fucking crazy, man. And they didn't want, and they wanted to defund the police. I mean, what stupid idea. Stupid to defund the police. They're here to protect and serve. And they can't do it. That's why this country's the way it is. It's all fucked up because of this fucking virus. People are pissed because they can't go to work. They're out of work. They have no money. They're relying on unemployment, and unemployment's now basically gone. We don't know when we're getting another stimulus check and how much we're going to get. Trump wants more than $1,200. I agree with that. But the stupid Democrats want to keep it at $1,200. They want to have all these other provisions. It's fucking insane. This year has fucking sucked. First 8 months of this fucking year just fucking sucked. And we got 4 more months to go. And this fucking virus is going to stick around for the rest of this year. And it's only going to get worse. Because there's no vaccine. Even though they're in phase 3 of the vaccine. And there were a lot of things going on with that vaccine. They're testing it out and people getting sick from the vaccine. Oh, boy. When you get one that actually works, you think that, what's going to happen? People are going to get sick. I don't even think there's going to be a cure for this fucking disease. It's going to be like fucking cancer. And AIDS and, HIV and shit. But they're kind of got things to slow down the process of AIDS and HIV. Blah, 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 blah. But, I'm just pissed. That's all. Joe Cronin was pissed tonight. If you watch this show, he was fucking pissed off. I can only imagine what JD's video is going to be like tonight. I'll watch that later. It is what it is. Hashtag fuck this virus. Yep. Put that up. Put it out on Twitter. Put it out on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, wherever. Just use that hashtag. And I made the hashtag, but it is what it is. So I should get royalties for that shit. Pay me, motherfuckers. That's that. I wonder what group it is that appeared on Raw. Well, I guess we're gonna find out next week because we only saw just a glimpse of them in that security cam footage. Nice way to hype. Oh, we got a new faction gonna invade Raw, but we don't know who it is. I think it's guys from NXT personally, or maybe it's something involved with Shane O'Mac. Because you notice how he got part of I don't know what it was, a nightclub or part of the performance center converted into a fucking fight club, and got strippers there, which was nice. Nothing wrong with strippers, because strippers' lives matter. But I get, they kind of dropped the ball. Like, we didn't know who they were. There's just these 5 guys in the parking lot throwing the Molotov cocktails at a fucking electrical equipment, setting it on fire. That's why the lights were going on and off, and the mics are going on and off. So I would assume we're gonna find out who did it next week. So the intrigue. So we get some intrigue. Who are these guys? Where are they from? Who are they? Like I said, I kind of joked it was the Elite, the Buck. I thought it was the Bucks, Kenny, Cody, and Hangman Adam Page. Though I think one of the guys looked really big, so I could throw that out the window. But I think it's guys from NXT personally. But that's why I it is what it is. We'll see what happens next week, and that's that. All right, we're gonna get back to Raw in just a minute. Although when I saw Montez Ford, it made me feel bad. I thought he had a heart attack or that his tongue was stuck. I started to panic. Yeah, that was scary. Some scary stuff. When Montez Ford just collapsed at ringside when Angelo Dawkins was facing Angel Garza. And we didn't know what happened. I thought it was like he legit collapsed. But then we found out it wasn't because of that. And then when Montez Ford took on Andrade, he got all fired up, shaking the ropes like the Ultimate Warrior, and they just collapsed. And then they had they called a match, and then they called a doctor, and then we find out what happened later, which I'll get to in a minute. But it was kind of scary. I mean, kind of reminded me when Ric Flair was doing a promo, and then he legit had I don't think he legit had a heart attack, but he grabbed his chest and started like falling down. Same thing with Shawn Michaels, and when he was in a match and then he just completely blacked out. That was some scary stuff. But it is what it is. So, thankfully it wasn't serious stuff, but it was just part of the storyline. But that's all I gotta say about that. And we move on. All right. So that's enough for the chat for now. We'll get back to chat a little later. So continue to chime in with the chat and talk about Monday Night Raw or anything else, and that's it. All right. So like I said, to sum up, we had the lights going on and off. We had MVP taking on Apollo Crews. Apollo wins the match and wins the New School United States title. Now he has both belts. Now it's going to become one belt because he's going to have the New School United States title probably next week. And then MVP gets mad and he asks for his rematch at SummerSlam. So we'll see what happens with that. And we move on from there. All right, then we go backstage with the two-woman power trip, Bayley and Sasha. Just with their shiny little belts, they clap the belts and all that other good stuff. Sasha looking hot, as always. That's that. All right, then we stay backstage. We see a darkened hallway and a closed door and a security guard standing in front of the door, which we'll get to later. We'll see what happens with that. All right, then we go to break. We come back, and we get Sarah Schreiber with Bayley and Sasha. They have all the gold, as always. So Bayley's like, I'm Bayley Dos Belts, baby. And I'm 2 belts Banks. Drops the nicknames. They're asked if the titles will be defended at SummerSlam. They don't answer. Bayley calls Sarah's job boring and says that her job does no justice to how good they are. So instead of talking, we're going to get a video package. Because we got to get a video package hyping the only good thing in WWE right now, the two-women power trip. So we see how Sasha won the belt from Asuka last week on a count out. And then we see it bleeds into Asuka cutting a promo in Japanese. It's always fun. And then she talks in English, which she's starting to get better in English. Very good. Very good if you watch her Iconic TV channel on YouTube. She's getting very good at English. So is Shinsuke. All that English training is got them, something to get some better promos from the Japanese chicks, especially Io and Kairi. Well, need more of that. We need more of that. So we get so Asuka says revenge will be very, very sweet. Let's see what happens with that. So we come back to Bayley and Sasha. They're pissed. They said, this is unprofessional. So Sasha throws a temper tantrum. And then we see Shayna Baszler come in. She's like, enough of this garbage, enough of this chitter chat. And she's like, I got some problems. She tells Sasha that she snaked her way to the title. Yes, she did. And she's waited in line long enough. And then out of nowhere, she just clocks Sasha right in the face, even though Sasha kind of leaned into the punch. If you look closely, Sasha's like, poof. So Sasha's grabbing her face, and then Bayley's like, are you okay? Are you okay? So we'll see what happens with that situation. Maybe Shayna will be Shayna will get a title shot. But we'll see what happens. So I gave all that 2.25 out of 5 stars. And we move on from there. All right, we stayed backstage because we can't go to the ring. We stayed backstage with my good buddy Kevin Owens. He's in the back looking for something to drink. I think he grabs a Yoo-Hoo. I think he grabbed a Monster. Don't drink the Monster. You know what happens when you drink the Monster if you have been following BTE. You know, especially if you're Adam Cole, baby. Said way that he got killed off BTE. That's that. Then the Iconics come in, Peyton Royce and Billie Kay. They say that they'd be great guests on the Kevin Owens show coming up. He's like, yeah, you could be, maybe, but not tonight, because I already got some guests. You know, it's my show. I plan my guests and who's on the show. So Peyton Royce and Billie Kay are not happy campers. And then Kevin so I get see what happens with that. There we go. We go to break. We come back. We have the Kevin Owens show with Kevin Owens, of course. He mentions that Shane McMahon is back. I know, and then you know, with everything going on tonight on the show, Shane McMahon comes back, and although he has plenty of issues with him, he wants to bring out someone who has been going through a lot. So out comes Ruby Riott, who's been having a lot of problems as of late with the Iconics. Now teaming with Bianca Belair and her problems with Liv Morgan, blah, blah, blah. So she comes out, takes a seat. Owens brings up her win over Peyton Royce a couple weeks ago. That's her first win since February. So Ruby's like, it's no secret. I've had some bad luck since I came back from my shoulder and knee injury. She's been losing since February, and the Iconics have done their best to make her feel bad about it. She's dealt with toxic and sad broads her entire life. And last week, she finally got to shut up Peyton Royce and put an end to the Iconic bullshit. Yes, she actually said bullshit. They bleeped it, of course. And the only thing that could have made it better is if Liv was out to celebrate with her. So she gets a little emotional. Owens gets up. He's all excited and says, well, since you spoke of Liv Morgan, here she comes right now. So Liv Morgan comes out. And Ruby's like, what? She's here? What? Like it felt like an episode of Jerry Springer. Like, what? Wait, my wife is here? What? My girlfriend is here? Oops. So Liv comes out, says Ruby asks her to listen to what she has to say. So she's like, go ahead and say it. And Kevin Owens allowed it. Owens says he saw them when they debuted. Then the mic cuts out, comes back on. He was here when the three of them started. He talked with Sarah Logan, moving on to be a mother to Eric Rowan's kid. That's always nice. But they don't need to be done. Owen says he's done a lot of crappy things to a lot of people. Jericho. He's lost friends. Jericho. And it will always be because he thought it was better. He can stand here now and say he doesn't know if it was really worth it. He says that they don't have to be friends, but it's worth hearing Ruby out. So Ruby gets choked up. Like, nice acting job by Heidi Loveless, if you don't know her real name. Everything was different when she came back. Liv was thriving, coming into her own, and maybe she didn't need her anymore. She mentions that Liv beat her not once but twice. And then she mentions the tattoo on her leg of their debut, and that Liv has it on the back of her neck. So all Ruby wants is another chance. So Liv's thinking about it. And then the Iconics come out to ruin the party. Peyton tells Liv she should have stayed in the bathroom in the tub. Billy then says they're tired of hearing about Ruby's one win after 400 losses. They got some facts to deliver. Peyton says they dominated the tag team division. Well, yeah, kind of. They conquered WrestleMania, and they have been better than the two of them. Liv says they're right. We're not friends like you guys are, and they are not iconic. But there is one thing that they will always agree on, and that's no one starts a riot better than them. So Peyton Royce and Billie Kay get a little bit pissed. Owen says the message is clear, unless you girls have something better to say. So Peyton says they got nothing on the Iconics. They want a match. So Ruby's like, "Oh, you want a match now? We're gonna have a match now." And then like the Iconics start getting pissed, and then Kevin Owens has the line of the night. Says, "Can we get some more technical difficulties for these two?" That was funny. And then Peyton gets offended, slaps Owens in the mush. And then Owens goes to Billie Kay. He's like, "Was that really necessary?" And then Billie Kay slaps him. And then Kevin Owens gets pissed, and he's like, "You girls can handle this." So Ruby and Liv attack, and they clear the ring. And that's pretty much all I gotta say about that. I gotta put the air conditioner on. It's fucking hot in here, cause I'm here. So we're gonna see Liv Morgan and Ruby Riott reunite as the Riott Squad taking on the Iconics. But the segment was alright. I gave it 2.25 out of 5 stars, and that's that. And we go to break. We come back. We see what's inside that room that was protected by that big dude. You see some really corny rock music, and people like slamming on a mat with no ropes. You know, it looked like fucking NXT rookies or something, or somebody, extras or some shit. But I'll get to that in a minute. That's that. All right, then we get to match number 2, Ruby Riott and Liv Morgan against the Iconics. Nothing to write home about. Starts out with Ruby and Billie. Billie hits a neckbreaker for a near fall. Tags in Peyton. And they go to work on Ruby. Peyton gets another cover on a back elbow. Peyton drives the knee to the back of Ruby, then another one, then some rest period with a chin lock. And Peyton's just going completely nuts with the fucking move. Ruby starts making a comeback with an elbow. Peyton drops her down by her hair. Tags in Billie. They hit some to the front and the back of Ruby. So smack. Ruby then shows it and hits a super kick. Peyton comes in. Liv Morgan gets the hot tag. Does a couple things. Slams Peyton down. They gets tossed to the corner. Hits a back elbow, then flies off the second rope with a drop kick for a near fall. As Billie's in to stop the pin. Drags Peyton to the corner. She gets tagged in. She tries to work over Liv, but Liv with a surprise 1922 schoolgirl for the 1-2-3. So Liv and Ruby get the win. So the Riott Squad are kind of back. I don't know what's going to happen with them. Not that it's going anywhere. But still, was an okay match. I gave it 2 out of 5 stars. And that's that. Afterwards, Billie and Peyton looked at, and they both grabbed Billie and hit a double STO. So they may not be friends, but they're still teammates if you think about it. And we'll see what happens with them as we go on from there. All right, then we go to the back where we get Charlie Caruso talk about an accident early in the day. So she's here to give the scoop. She's nearby a box that gets tipped over with a bunch of random crap in it. So she's like, I don't know. And then MVP boxes, man. He talks about losing the United States title because of glitches and power outages. Charles like, I understand you completely. I understand you're pissed. But I was just informed that Apollo accepted a challenge to his rematch at SummerSlam. MVP is like, I'm okay with that. Of course, Apollo will accept because what would his kids think? And then we see Shelton Benjamin come in saying that the 24/7 title was stolen. And everybody's like, we're going to find that person who did it, and we're going to teach him a lesson. So, that's all I got to say about that. I got a fucking itch up the wazoo. Fucking mosquitoes. Fucking shit. It's summer, but it is what it is. So, I gave all that 2.25 out of 5 stars. And that's that. So, some craziness on Monday Night Raw tonight. Craziness, I say. Craziness. That's all I got to say about that. All right, then we finally go to the ring. Well, after we had the match. We go back to the ring. We see the WWE Champion Drew McIntyre, who comes in the ring with his black shirt. He's so serious because he's a serious champion. He says Randy Orton has spent 20 years preying on vulnerability. He's not like Austin or The Rock. He's not. No, he's like. He says that Orton is way better than him. I don't know about that, but it is what it is. He's the kind of man to wait till you're finished with an Extreme Rules match and hit an RKO out of nowhere. And he said, that's on me. I didn't see it coming. Orton warned him. Thanks for the education. Lesson learned. It's not going to happen again. So Drew, I know. Drew says Orton is motivated. He's just as motivated as he is. The similarities don't end. Then he tells a story. Once upon a time, Vincent Kennedy McMahon looked at both of them and told them they were the chosen ones, the future of the industry, but plans changed. He talks about Edge, saying that it was all Orton's plan, was plan A. He didn't lie awake in Scotland thinking about how to make it into the WWE, to be the first one for an entire country, being called crazy, giving it his all, and finally putting it off. It was all handed to Randy Orton. He doesn't resent Orton. He just finds it interesting how he brags of the early accolades that were fed to him because of his dad, Cowboy Bob Orton. He says he never rode in a limo with Evolution. Didn't really want to. He never had anyone cleaning up after him or his crap, his legit crap. Then he says Orton should have been fired multiple more times than he was. Yeah, that's kind of true because of his drug use and the wellness policy violations that he had back in the day. So we have that. And then we get the music of Randy Orton and his voice. And he comes out with Nature Boy, woo, Ric Flair by his side. So he says, is this respect for Drew not enough? Drew chooses to repay him by telling the world that Orton was handed everything and that he doesn't want to be here. He's like, if I didn't want to be here, why am I here? He says he's here because he enjoys coming down to the ring, delivering RKOs and kicking skulls. He says he's going to take the title away from Drew. He mentions Drew says he should have been fired years ago, and he says he's right. He should have been fired over and over and over again, but he wasn't. Drew was. Why? Because Orton is more valuable than he is or ever will be. He was given chance after chance after chance because he is the chosen one then, now, and forever. And he dares Drew right now to come up with one original opinion about him. Keyword original. So Drew's like, okay, you want some originality? I'll give you some. So Drew lays his title down, and he's like, you want me to shoot? I'll shoot, brother. So Drew thinks Orton represents everything that is wrong with the WWE. He says he watched the Last Ride documentary, and Orton was interesting. He talked about Taker reaching down and pulling Orton up to his level. And he's like, why did Taker do that? Because of the love he loves the industry and cares about the future. Then he's like, how many times did Orton take a moment to reach down and pull up anyone to his level? Never. He says never. He never sat with Kevin Owens, Apollo, Mustafa Ali. He never gave any of that, passed down that knowledge. Drew brings up 10 years ago when Orton was in a hole and Edge had to pull him out. He remembers Orton walked past him while his world was crumbling down. He had a lot of personal problems and other stuff. He says his mother was sick and Drew was self-destructing. and Orton didn't do a damn thing. He doesn't see a leader standing in front of him. He sees a selfish prick. Damn. And he's like, this is what's going to happen. He has a bunch of receipts he wants to cash in. And he's going to rip off Orton's head, and Orton will see it coming. Damn. That was a good promo. Good segment from Randy and Drew. We got 2 more weeks of this, so it's starting to look good. I'm kind of invested in the match. I still think Randy's going to win the title, thanks to maybe Ric Flair getting involved. So Orton's going to win the belt for the 14th time at SummerSlam. Going on a nice little run with it. Probably until Edge comes back, and then Edge is going to get the belt. I believe, I don't know how many times Edge held the belt. I think 7 or 8 times. I think. I lost count. So we'll see what happens with that. So good promo from these 2 guys. I give it 3.25 out of 5 stars. Probably the only good thing that happened on Raw, the segment of the night, and that was that. So we'll see what happens next Monday night on Monday Night Raw between Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton. See, should be some good stuff, some very good stuff, and we'll see what happens with that. And we move on from there. All right, there we go. Backstage, we see Nia Jax talking to Pat Buck. So we're gonna hear from them. Let's see what the repercussions are gonna be from Nia beating up Pat Buck last week after Pat Buck tried to break her and Shayna Baszler apart last week, and that didn't go so well for Mr. Pat Buck. It is what it is. We'll see what happens with that. Then we go. We stay backstage. We see Kevin Owens talking to Ruby Riott and Liv Morgan about their big win over the Iconics. And then in comes Nick your boy Ric Flair. Tells the girls to shoo, which wasn't nice. He says he's been following Kevin. He's held him in such high esteem. Everyone loves him, but maybe he's turning into too much of a softie, a guy that is too worried about helping the other kids instead of taking care of himself. So Kevin's like, I'm not his counselor. The girls were just my friend, and he's like, he sacrificed friends and done a lot of crappy things to get to the top spot. Now he's just trying to take his career in a different direction. He wants to be the person in the locker room that he looks up to, that people look up to. He's trying to be what Randy could be. So Flair's like, oh, really? Oh. So he's like, okay, I'll allow that. He says, instead of giving Kevin advice he might want to listen to, this is what Owen needs to do. Mind your own business. Take care of Randy, and maybe he will get a title match at SummerSlam. So get that. And then Kevin's like, well, if you're so worried about Randy's career, I will show you what kind of fight I have in me next week when I take on your boy, Randy Orton. So Flair's like, oh, really? Okay, we'll see. So that's going to happen next week on the program. Randy Orton against Kevin Owens. Should be a pretty good match. And first time, I believe the first time ever. I'm not exactly sure. But it should be pretty good. But we'll see what happens with that. Two of my favorite ones. 2 guys I respect. I'm a big Kevin Owens, Kevin Steen mark. I like Randy Orton, although he stole my move. Gilmore cover the RKO. And then DDP stole that from Ace Austin, well, not Ace Austin, from the guy that made the Diamond Cutter. I think it was Ace Austin. I forget what his name is. Called it the Ace Crusher. But I do it way better. Let me say. So I modified the move, even though DDP modified it too. He did different variations of it. Orton has done it in midair, and he's kind of reinvented that move. But still, my version is much better. And I'm not tooting my own horn, but no, my version is way better. And You don't want to get hit with it. That's all I gotta say, because you never get up. That's all I gotta say for that. All right, so we'll see what happens next week with Randy and Kevin Owens. Should be a pretty match. And that's all I gotta say about that. And we move on. All right, there we go. In the middle of the ring with Pat Buck. She's here to, I guess, make an apology this week. Her beating up Pat Buck. So we get that. Then we come back. So Nia is like, she's like, I take to heart millions around the world idolize her. That's a good joke. That's a good joke. Nobody idolizes Nia Jax unless idiots who really like big fat women. Not that there's anything wrong with that. No. Just saying. So then she's like, so when a scrawny runt from WWE management who couldn't cut the mustard in his own career, steps to her, it's her responsibility to step back. So Pat's like, I don't. We were doing an apology here. So, I didn't see you there, Pat. So she's like, I know you want an apology, but I'm going to offer you an opportunity to prove me wrong. And she challenges him to a match. Here to fight. I'm here for an apology. We talked about this in the back. After the match, and we can settle it right here, right now. So Pat's like, no, I don't want to do it. No. Then Nia's like, are you scared, bro? Bro. Where she got that from? Not from Matt Riddle. He is a bro. Swerve, bro. Is what it is. So Nia says she thought he'd have more fire, being a ginger and all. Ugh. Going racial there. So Pat's pissed, obviously, because he's Pat fucking Buck, the guy that was running, I think WrestlePro, I think it was WrestlePro or Creator Pro. Now he's an agent. So Pat gets on the mic. He's like, "Okay, Nia, here's how it's gonna go now." So he basically says, "For what you did to a WWE official, not naming himself, he says, Nia, you are indefinitely suspended." And then Nia's like, what? And then he goes, without pay. I was like, damn, that's how you bring down the law. That's some authority. So Nia flips out. She's all pissed. She's like, you don't have the right to do that. You don't have the authority. Then she goes up to him, rips his jacket off, and then like she kind of like headbutts him or something. And then Pat Buck's like, it looks like he got knocked out. And then Nia kicks him in the ribs for good measure, sending him to the outside. And that's that. So I gave that 2 out of 5 stars. So no more Nia Jax. I guess now she's going to be fired. So we're not going to see Nia Jax for a while. So that little thing she's going to have that we all thought was going to happen with Shayna Baszler, goodbye. That was a waste for Shayna. And it is what it is, and that's that. And then she goes to the back. Then we see everybody's favorite fool, our false. R-Truth come out with the 24/7 title, and he's running around the ring. He's being chased by Akira Tozawa's ninjas, and then Shelton comes out, and we're informed of an upcoming triple threat match for the Olive Garden title, which makes no fucking sense. I could steal it then. Why couldn't he just win it on his own for the 38th, 39th time? Ugh. That's why this belt's a fucking joke. That's all I gotta say about that. So we move on from there. We get to this fucking match, and the match is fucking horrible. Akira Tozawa, R-Truth, and Shelton. So Akira starts out rolling to the outside, letting Shelton and R-Truth go at it. Shelton whips Truth into the corner, hits a big rising kick. Then Snapman some right hands to the ropes. Shelton stomps Truth for a little bit. Akira comes in with a 1922 schoolboy for a near fall. He tells him to stop. And then he starts trying to punch Shelton, which doesn't even hurt. Shelton then picks him up, hits a wicked powerbomb. And then Truth's in the corner. He comes out with some right hands and a kick to the chin, a kick to the chest. Goes for the axe kick and missed it as Shelton hits a move that he hasn't hit in a long time. Pay dirt. Tries to go for the win. In comes a ninja to do a random flip for no apparent reason. So Shelton, fuck you, kicks his head off. While in the ring, Akira falls off the top rope with that big senton splash of his, while MVP and Lashley, who came down the ringside, took out the ninjas. And then inside, Akira Tozawa picks up the 1-2-3 to become a three-time 24/7 champion. And nobody gave a flying fuck. So Akira Tozawa, once again, the 24/7 champion, and then he leaves the ringside area with his ninjas, and that's that. And I could care less. I don't care about the 24/7 title. I think it's a fucking joke. And that's pretty much all I got to say about that. And we move on from there. All right, we're going to get to the chat in just a little bit. I want to just finish some stuff up. I go to the back where in that room where the security guard was, see what's going on. Then we see Shane McMahon. Not dancing this time. He's not showing us the money. So he welcomes us to Raw Underground, which is this new concept of his. Basically, it's Brawl for All 2.0, this time with MMA. They got a ring with no ropes, a bunch of dudes and a couple of chicks surrounding it, hustling, while fake fighting. I don't know what the fuck they were doing, trying to grab each other's dick. I don't know. Yeah, so that's your announcement from Shane McMahon. Now we're gonna get some matches for the rest of the night. You know, it's gonna be exciting television, or as I call it, filler. That's what it was. That's that. All right, then we go backstage with Sarah Schreiber. She interviews Dominic Mysterio. Well, I don't know how he gets interview time. Here's what it is. He's asked why he continues to take the risk and show up every week to Raw while his father is out recovering from his eye injury. Dominic says that may be crazy to keep fighting, but it's easy to know why he's doing it. He literally witnessed his dad get blinded, so he thinks it's understandable. And if anyone thinks he's crazy now, they're going to think he's really nuts when he challenges Seth Rollins to a match at SummerSlam. I think the dude's lost a couple of months. You know, it was all part of the storyline. I was thinking that Ray and Dominic would team up against Seth Rollins and Murphy at SummerSlam, and then Dominic would turn on his father and join up with Seth, which may or may not happen down the road. Who knows? But this storyline continues on. We'll see if Seth will accept the challenge. So I gave that 2.25 out of 5 stars. And we will move on from there. All right, after this next match and segment, I'm going to get back to the chat. All right, after that, we got the match number 4. We had the boss, Sasha Banks, the Raw Women's Champion, and one half of the Women's Tag Team Champions, the 2-woman power trip. She takes on the Queen of Spades, Shayna Baszler, for the first time ever. And it wasn't really a great match. You know, Sasha had some. I think Sasha had some new gear. Didn't look all that bad. It is what it is. So, like I said, it was an match. It's also with Sasha slapping Shayna around until Shayna gets pissed, like, I'm gonna fuck you up. So I was beating her up. She goes for a kick, and she's like, nope. So Sasha's like, and then Shayna faked her out, and she shoves her down to the ground. And then Shayna's like, it should have been me! Trying to be Dolph Ziggler. And Shayna stomps her, and she rolls her up for a near fall. Sasha comes back with a kick. She goes for a suplex, but Shayna reverses it into a double underhook into a Fujiwara armbar. Not a Fujiwara armbar, like a code red, if you will. Sasha gets to the ropes. Bayley has to help her out. She hops on the apron, then gets back off. Shayna grabs Sasha. Sasha comes back with the divorce court. You know what that is. Sends Shayna into the ring post, shoulder first, and then pins her for a near fall. Starts working on the arm, on the bottom rope. Starts kicking Shayna in the corner. And goes to work on Shayna for a while. Shayna tries to escape, but Sasha puts her face first into the middle turnbuckle. She flies over with a crossbody. Shayna rolls through and hits a backbreaker on the knee. And she goes for a kick. Sasha blocked and tries for one of her own, which is blocked. And then Shayna locks in the Kirifita clutch. Sasha escapes, rolls through, picks on the leg. Then she locks it up. She goes to the bank statement, but Shayna breaks the hands, gets to her knees, she stands up, goes for a back suplex, while Sasha reverses it into a Hurricanrana. Then she hits a kick, and then Shayna comes back with a big side kick to the head. And then out of nowhere, we get Asuka. Nobody is ready for Asuka! She comes out, attacks Bayley from behind, and the match ends. I guess it ended in a DQ, or the referee said no contest, but we didn't really know. So, Asuka was beating the crap out of Bayley for what she did to my second wife, Kairi. Beating the crap out of her. Sending her into the barricade head first. So, Asuka's pissed. So, we'll see what happens with that. Shayna and Asuka are left in the ring, while Sasha and Bayley go to the back. And that's pretty much all I got to say about that. And we will move on from there. So I gave the match 2.25 out of 5 stars. That's that. Asuka tried to leave the ring, tries to attack Sasha. Sasha grabs her titles. Heads to the side as Asuka's screaming in Japanese. That's that. So I get all that. So we'll see what happens with that. But it doesn't end, does it? No. Well, in the ring, Asuka's still standing, ready for the interview. Then we take it back to the end of last week's match for the World Women's title between Asuka and Sasha, where Kairi got hurt by Bayley, and Sasha won by count out to win the World Women's title for the 5th time. I don't know why we got that. Why we get a replay of that? She just went straight to the interview. This is WWE we're talking about. It is what it is. So we're in the ring with Charlie Caruso. She's asking for an update on Kairi. Asuka says Kairi will be okay, but now she's not here. And she's speaking all in English, which is great. I don't mind the Japanese, but her English is getting way better. I like it. I sucked your dick long time. No, that's not how she said it. So then Sasha and Bayley come out again. So Asuka's like, I want my rematch for the title at SummerSlam. And Shayna's like, whoa. I don't want you to fight. I don't want you to. Well, actually, Sasha's like, okay. So there, but I'm going ahead of myself here. So Shayna's like, I don't want you to fight right now, but I'm cheering for you. I want you to win the Raw Women's title back from Sasha. I want you to win the Raw Women's title back from Sasha. And I want you to win the World Women's title back from Bayley. And I want you to win the World Women's title back from Asuka. And I want you to win the World Women's title back from Sasha. And I want you to win the World Women's title back from Bayley. And I want you to win the World Women's title back from Sasha. And I want you to win the World Women's title back from Bayley. And I want you to win the World Women's title back from Sasha. And I want you to win the World Women's title back from Bayley. And I want you to win the World Women's title back from Sasha. And I want you to win the World Women's title back from Bayley. And I want you to win the World Women's title back from Sasha. And I want you to win the World Women's title back from Bayley. And I want you to win the World Women's title back from Sasha. And I want you to win the I'm going to be rooting for you, cheering and clapping the entire time. So when you win the belt back, I will be excited to dismember you and take the Raw Women's title off of you, which she probably will anyway. So then Sasha and Bayley come back out. They're all laughing up a storm. And she has a message for both of them. She's like, "This is my title! Mine!" And she's like, "Okay, Asuka, I'll give you a rematch for my title. If," and there's always an if you can beat a former NXT Women's Champion, a former member of the Four Horsewomen, her best friend, Bayley. Don't give me a hug." Bayley's like, "What?" Bayley's like, "What? Are you nuts?" So we're going to see Bayley taking on Asuka again. I think we've seen it before. And if Asuka wins, she gets her rematch against Sasha Banks. I believe it's their third or fourth match that they've had. So if Asuka can win, she gets the title match at SummerSlam. I think she will get the match. She will beat Sasha, become a three-time. Actually, no, two. No, she won the belt, lost the belt, and we get two-time Raw Women's Champion, and then right away loses to Shayna Baszler. Probably at the September pay-per-view, or maybe around Hell in a Cell time. But it is what it is. So that was pretty nice. So I gave that segment 2.25 out of 5 stars, and that's pretty much all I gotta say about that. All right, there we go. Backstage, we see Angel Garza, the Latin lover, talking to some blonde chick from The Bachelor. I think her name was Demi or Denim. I don't know what it was. So in comes Andrade. Angel introduces him, and Andrade's like, "Hello," because he knows that Charlotte's looking on, and Charlotte would kick his fucking ass. So he's like, "Okay," and then Zelina Vega comes in, her ring gear, looking like the Queen of the Damned from, with the beautiful Princess Aaliyah. She looks just like Aaliyah. I mean, if you've seen her pictures that when she did a tribute to Aaliyah, looks just like her. Holy crap. That's all I gotta say about that. So she's like, "Hi, you don't belong here, and neither do you, Angel." So Angel's like, "You do?" And then Zelina's like, "Well, if you do, we need to talk." So the biggest cock blocker in the WWE strikes again. And that's all I got to say about that. So I gave that 2 out of 5 stars. And we're going to get Angel Garza and Andrade taking on the Street Profits in singles matches. And I'll get to that in just a little bit. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah. All right, probably going to go another 2 hours with this. So it is what it is. Blah, blah, blah. All right, we got a newcomer, Angry Popcorn TV. Nice channel name. He's got a Nirvana shirt on, and he's next to Kurt Angle, the Olympic gold medalist. The man who won the 1996 Olympics with a broken freaking neck. He says, "Are we going to get a Raw Underground Championship? I hope not. I hope and pray that we don't get another title. Because we don't need another fucking title in wrestling. Especially if it was a MMA style title. We don't need that shit. So I'm hoping not. But knowing WWE, they probably will. And it's going to be pointless and boring. They'll probably give it to that Sabo, Cabo, whatever the fuck his name is. The first guy that came out. The guy looks like Punishment Martinez, like bigger. But I'll get to that in a minute. But hopefully we don't get that. I hope. Because I'll fucking go fucking bananas with that shit. I hope we don't get that. I hope. But we'll see. It's up to Shane. But most likely, I bet you we will. I bet you we will. But I don't want to see it, and I don't care. And that's that. All right, my good buddy Little Fettuccini 69 says thoughts on The Rock on the XFL deal. Well, like I mentioned before, I have a video down below in the description box on the Peter Gilmore YouTube channel with my thoughts on The Rock buying the XFL for $15 million. So you check out my thoughts in that video down below. So check it out. Tell your friends. Share the video all over the internet. Leave your comments and whatever. I have some really scathing remarks for The Rock and about this whole thing. Scathing remarks. Wasn't a big fan of it. But like I said, I'll give The Rock a chance. Not that I care about The Rock, but I'll give him a chance to see what he does. You make the XFL great, or just be another failure like Vince McMahon had, not once but twice, and then XFL probably go bankrupt again. But we'll see. That's pretty much all I can say about that. So, like I say, check out the video down below. What's that? All right, Alejandro Ponce Classo says, it's rare that they want to say goodbye to The Rock. I don't know why it was, why they want to say goodbye to The Rock. It is what it is. It's The Rock. That's all I got to say about that. Now we move on from it. All right, now we got another newcomer. So thanks to all the new people coming in. Subscribe to the channel. Tell your friends. Subscribe to all my other channels as well. Follow me on Facebook and friend me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter. Twitter link down below in the description box. So friend me on Facebook. Type in Peter Gilmore. You'll find me somewhere on Facebook. Maybe I'll friend you. Maybe I won't. And if you're on Twitter, hit that follow button. Maybe I'll follow you back. But it is what it is. We got a newcomer. His name is Birdman. Not the Birdman. Not the bird. Not Coco Beware. Birdman has an interesting looking avatar. Actually looks like a burnt guy. He says, I like your camera. Thank you. It's a brand new computer with Windows 10. So thankfully, my lovely wifey's family got it for her and me. So I still have my laptop, which is somewhere around. So I forget. I don't even know where it is. It's somewhere in the house. I get on that from time to time, but I like using this because it's more useful. But I just use the laptop as a backup in case something happens to us, like if it gets a virus or something like that. And that's that. So, but thank you for liking my camera. Okay. And he also says new here, though he spelled here wrong. It's okay. It's okay. We all make mistakes. Well, thank you for coming into the chat. Hopefully you stay with me and come on my next stream, which will probably be on Wednesday night for my AEW review. And that's pretty much it. So thank you to all the newcomers for coming in. And like I said, subscribe to this channel and all my other channels. Friend me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, share the video all over the internet. And most importantly, don't forget to all my newcomers coming in and everybody else, tap that bell so you know when I go live. Because if you miss out, you miss out. That's all I got to say about that. So thank you for that. And that's it. This is for the comments for now. All right, let's go back to Monday Night Raw. So we come back with Raw Underground. We see a dude hitting a powerbomb, winning a match without the pin. We don't the referee doing the whole thing. So Shane declares him the winner. We see some chicks dancing, some strippers, and she's like, "Oh, guess what we got in store for you now?" So he gets in the ring, introduces some big dude. I think his name was Cabo, I don't know what the fuck his name is. Cabo Wabo, Sabo Wabos, Saba Simba, I don't know. So he takes on this jobber. And the whole thing looked, I mean, the production of it looked like shit because we're getting cut after cut after cut. The guy beats the crap out of him with forearms, and she's like, "Whoa, get out of here! You okay?" Then we get another jobber comes in, takes off his shoes, takes off his shirt. Should have kept it on. Bell rings. The guy kicks him in the gut. Then he hits a belly-to-belly suplex, and he's driving some elbows into the guy's face. And she's like, "Okay, that's it. He's done." And that was that. And then the jobber gets dragged out of the ring. And then we go back and forth between the strippers and this big guy. And we get to that. And then she's like, "Who wants next? Who wants next?" So that was that. I don't like it. It was fucking boring. It was just fucking filler for the last hour because they need ratings for the last hour because last week did so bad. I think it got a 1.4. So you think this is gonna work? No. Just another way to get Shane McMahon on because they need ratings so desperately. Fucking horrible. Fuck this shit. Just a knockoff Brawl for All, just with MMA in it. But freaking WWE wants to cater to the MMA crowd. And like somebody mentioned before, if this brings Brock Lesnar back, I don't know what will. And I hope they don't bring a belt in. That's all I gotta say about that. Fuck that shit. And we get more of this. That's that. All right, there we go into the ring. We see the Street Profits, the Raw Tag Team titles. They talk about last week's attack from Andrade and Angel Garza. Angel Dawkins says he's going to holler at that blonde chick from The Bachelor. Who knows if she wants to even go with that. Isn't Angel Dawkins a married man? Floating with the chicks. I'm just going to find out. Huh. She'll be getting a rose. She'll be getting a big, you know what. So Montez was like, "Focus, you idiot!" Angel Garza together like nothing. He says the Street Profits are family. Then he removes his glasses and it gets a little bit serious for a minute. He says they're brothers. And he says that Angel and Andrade attacked them twice. So he says, I guess they're done. And he's like, "We're done playing nice because we're the Street Profits and we want the smoke." So that's that. So I give that 2.25 out of 5 stars. So we're going to see what happens with them in singles matches. So we get to the first one. Angel Garza taking on Angela Dawkins. We had Andrade and Zelina Vega still wearing the Queen of the Damned gear on. Match was It was alright. Starts with Angel getting Dawkins in the corner, goes for a shoulder. Dawkins moved. Angel tumbles outside. Dawkins with a big tackle into the barricade as we go to break. Come back. Dawson's still in control. He has a flat for a 1 count. Angel then whips him to the ropes. Hops over, gets hopped, and then he gets hopped over. Is shoved, eats a drop kick for a near fall. And then Garza starts coming back, making that chick from The Bachelor and Charlie Caruso wetting her panties. He goes for the wing clipper, but Angelo escapes, hits a spinning splash, and then a bulldog. And then we see Montez Ford on the ground. I don't know what happened. I think he collapsed on the ground. So Dawkins goes over to him and he's like, "You okay, brother? You okay? Get up, fool!" But then Garza comes out of nowhere hitting a low, like a new move. Hits like a jumping drop kick. Got all of it. But he pins Angelo Dawkins for the 1-2-3. So it was an okay match. I gave it 2 out of 5 stars. And that's that. We see Montez, he's ready to throw up, or he's like a little bit tipsy from that drink he had, that solo cup he had. I don't know what's in it. I don't know if it's Hennessy, it was water, or it's vodka. I don't know what's in it. So somebody must have slipped him a Mickey. So he looks kind of out of it. But he appears to be fine. We get to the next match. He takes on Andrade. A little bit better, not much better. So Montez gets a waist lock in the ring. Andrade works on the left arm. Ford goes out, kips up, works into a go behind. So it's clubbing on the back, locks in a side headlock. Andrade comes back with a back suplex, then a kick, and a chop to Montez Ford. Ford hangs over the second rope. Andrade chokes him on the second rope. Then he hits a knee to gut, and a kick to the chest. Working on Montez Ford. Then Ford gets drop kicked to the head. Andrade sends Ford to the outside. Ford goes in the barricade. Andrade kicks him. Goes for a whip into the barricade. Gets reversed. Andrade hits the barricade very hard. That's what she said. And then they bring it into the ring. Montez Ford comes back with some kicks. Does some ground and pound with some mounted punches. And he sends Andrade in the corner. And the referee had to back Montez Ford up. Andrade comes back with a right hand. Then a kick to face. He suplexes Montez Ford for a near fall. And then he locks in a side headlock. Ford gets out of it, elbows Andrade a few times. Andrade with a right. Ford comes back with a clothesline, then another one. He sends him into the ropes. Ford flips over Andrade, hits a huge smack to the ears. And Andrade goes up to the corner. Ford rushes, gets kicked. Andrade goes to the top rope. And then Montez Ford hits a big drop kick, sending Andrade to the outside. Montez Ford hits a big flippy to do over the top rope, knocking down Andrade and Angel Garza. He goes back in, goes over the ropes, starts doing the Ultimate Warrior, shaking the ropes. And then out of nowhere, he just collapsed. He's like, whoa. And he just collapsed. And the referee calls for the bell, so that ends in a no contest. So we're all worried about Montez Ford. Angelo Dawkins comes in, and then we see Andrade and Angel Garza and Selena Vega. They're kind of concerned. And the referee's trying to hold them back. We get the medic coming in, and a referee's like, "Get me a doctor!" And tells Andrade and Angel Garza to back up, get away. Match is over. The doctor checks on Montez Ford, and that's it. So we don't know what happened to Montez Ford. I don't know. Somebody gave him a Mickey. Something really legit happened. I don't know. It's like Twitter was blowing up. It was like, Montez Ford's legit hurt. Like he's dead or something. And like people were thinking like he legit got injured. And that's pretty much. We'll see what happens with that. So we're gonna hopefully get the update on Montez Ford before the end of the show, and that's pretty much all I can say about that. So I gave the Montez Ford Andrade match 2 out of 5 stars, and that's pretty much it. All right, then we go to the back. We see Murphy watching what he did to Aleister Black last week. You know, basically doing his best Seth Rollins impersonation of taking out the eye. So that's why Aleister Black is gone. He's getting repackaged into a new gimmick. Thanks to Vince. It's gonna suck, most likely. I can only imagine what Tommy End's gonna look like when he comes back, whenever that may be. It's gonna probably suck and probably end his career. That's all I can say about that. So he's looking on, and then he looks up. We see the Messiah, the Monday Night Messiah, Seth Rollins. He tells Murphy that he made the right decision and should be proud of himself. But tonight they have to focus on the future. And then Murphy's like, the future, Conan? I mean, talks about, it's like, the future? He's like, and then he asks Seth about Dominic's SummerSlam challenge. Murphy's like, it's like, I think Dominic's ridiculous. I think this whole thing is ridiculous. And he asks Seth if it's ridiculous, and then Seth leaves. So we'll probably see what happens. Maybe Seth will accept. I don't know. So I gave that segment 2.25 out of 5 stars, and that's pretty much it for that. And we're gonna move on from there. All right, then we go back to Raw Underground, where we see Shane flirting with the ladies. You know, he's a married man and with a couple kids. But he's Shane O'Mac. He can do whatever he wants. And then we see the Viking Raiders one of the Viking Raiders, Eric from the Viking Raiders, taking on some jobber, beats the crap out of this guy, does some ground and pound, knocks him off behind, slams him down, beating him down with some rights. Then he hits a German into that V-trigger like knee. And knocks this fucking guy out. He's like, the guy's like, fucking knocked him out. And then Ivar comes in. They like, yeah, Will the greatest, yeah. Really? This is what you're doing with your tag team division? When two guys who could be contenders, you treat them like shit. You put them in this stupid thing with the Street Profits, with all the decathlon and all these funny skits, and then you make them become friends, and then you team them with the Big Show, and now you put them in this fucking boring fucking shit, this MMA crap, just treating them like shit. I'm sorry. Send the Viking Raiders back to NXT. Let them win the NXT tag team belts. They're a fucking joke. Send them back to NXT. Let them go back to the War Raiders, or I don't know. Let them go back to becoming War Machine. It's a fucking joke. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. It's a fucking joke. That's all I gotta say about that. So Shane holds up his hand, and she's like, "Who's next?" And he's like, "What's gonna happen next on Raw Underground?" So I gave that 2 out of 5 stars. Didn't give 2 shits about it. That's that. And then we break. We come back. We get a recap from earlier tonight, basically showing what happened with Montez Ford. Blah, blah, blah. Like we didn't need that. It's okay. And then we're outside the trainer's room with Charlie Caruso. She's looking for an update. And then we see Angel Garza coming up to her, trying to get it on with her. Says he knows shit, but don't care. Says he can bring her joy, laughter, and love. Gives her a rose. Charlie's about to come in her panties. It is what it is. And then in comes the biggest cock blocker in the WWE, Selena Vega, with Andrade. She tells Charlie that they are concerned about Montez Ford. He's an amazing competitor and an even better champion. She wonders what this means for the tag team titles come SummerSlam. So, Charlie's like, "Yeah, sure, you're a bitch. Fucking cock blocker." So she's like, "Come SummerSlam," and then Angelo Dawkins comes out, and then Angelo Dawkins comes out. Charlie tries to get a word with him. It's like, "How is he?" Dawkins like he's not sure yet, but Doc's saying that he might have been poisoned. So Angel Garza and Selena all go, "What? What? So we got a mystery in our hands. We need Scooby-Doo. Okay, somebody was poisoned. Look at that. And then out comes Bianca Belair, Montez Ford's wife. It says, "Okay, Selena, you got one chance. One chance to tell me what the fuck's going on before I beat your ass. So Zelina's like, what are you trying to insinuate here? That I did it? So Bianca's like, oh, I know one of you guys did it. And she's like, it's like, Zelina, you're the brains of the operation. So Zelina's like, yes, I am the brains, but I would never jeopardize an opportunity. So then Bianca takes off her earrings and she's about to slap the crap out of Zelina. So they're about to go at it. Zelina's held back by Angel Garza. Bianca's held back by Dawkins. So we're probably going to see Bianca Belair going up against Zelina Vega maybe next week on the program. Not that I give two shits, but it is what it is. Because we haven't seen Zelina Vega in any women's action in a long time. But we'll see what happens. So I gave all that 2 out of 5 stars. And that's all I got to say about that. Then we move on from there. All right, then we go to what I mentioned before, the security footage of what happened outside the Performance Center earlier in the day. We see 5 hooded people. Don't know who they are. There's an electrical box in the back. Look like somebody set up a stack of Marshall amps or something like that. So they throw a bunch of Molotov cocktails at it, and it catches on fire, and it blows up. You know, of course they have to do that. So basically, that's how you debut these guys. I mean, you hype these guys, you hype this new faction up, and then you just show 5 guys in hoods. We don't know who it is, and all they do is just throw fucking Molotov cocktails at an electric thing. You couldn't have them come out and just beat the crap out of everybody, like a Nexus kind of thing. Lots of people saying it might be Nexus 3.0 or 2.0. Like I said, I think it's people from NXT. I think Hunter's doing something with these guys. And I think it's probably going to be led by, I don't know. People saying it's the Undisputed Era. I don't think it's going to be. Probably going to be like Ciampa, Keith Lee, Killer Cross, a couple other people maybe. I don't know. But I guess we're going to have to wait and see what happens with these guys, with this group, who they are. I guess we're going to see what happens next week. If there's going to be more technical difficulties. So we'll see what happens with that. So I gave that 2 out of 5 stars. Then we go backstage. We see MVP, Lashley, and Shelton all in their suits. So I guess they got cleaned up pretty quick from the beginning of the night. Charlie Caruso comes up to them on some of what's been going on so far in the night. MVP then insults Charlie, thinking then brings up all the mysterious things going on, the lights going off, and blah, blah, blah. He says stuff's going down tonight, and that's your question, Charlie. And then we hear from Bobby Lashley, calls the Raw Underground a stunt, which basically was. MVP is like, oh, you got a good point. And then Charlie's asking them about sabotaging the show. So Shelton says that it's such an odd coincidence that this happens on the same night that Raw Underground started. So maybe he's thinking that Shane started this whole thing. Like I say, it could be. I think Shane might have brought these guys in, to get ratings and stuff. So Charlie's like, all I know is that the Underground fighting is that way. So MVP's like, well, I guess we're going to go there right now. So we'll see what happens with that. We're not done with Raw Underground. We've still got a few minutes left on the show. So we'll see what happens with that. So I gave that 2.25 out of 5 stars. And we move on from there. All right, then we get a recap of the long Seth Rollins Rey Mysterio saga. and then we see what happened last week with Dominic coming out and beat up Rollins and Murphy, and we see Dominic come back with a kendo stick, laying into Seth and Murphy. That's that. And then we go to the ring with the Monday Night Messiah. And this is near the end of the show, by the way. Rollins comes out to issue a statement. And then he's like, well, before we do that, we got some housekeeping to do. He turns his attention to Tom Stupid Idiot Phillips. And he has a couple questions for him. Number one, do you consider yourself a professional, an unbiased journalist? Do you take pride in your job and in your body of work? So Seth wonders what Tom was doing last week when Ray's son was assaulting him with a kendo stick. So Seth reminds him that Tom was cheering him on, kind of exciting all the rage. So then he goes to the outside, gets in Tom's face, and Samoa Joe is looking on, and Byron Saxton's looking on. Not that they're gonna do anything. He says that Tom is the voice of Monday Night Raw, and what he says matters. Tom is a part of the greater good, whether he likes it or not. And what he says is important. It's his job to call it right down the middle there, like Bill Alfonso says. Then we see Samoa Joe kind of looking pissed. So Seth says Tom is being biased and doing a poor job at it. And if he was doing a poor job, then it becomes a liability. And Seth thinks the time has come to find a new voice of Monday Night Raw. So he tells Murphy to take him. So Murphy slowly goes up to the announce table. He's about to beat up Tom Phillips, which would have been a great idea. But it is what it is. But Samoa Joe stands up to defend Tom, saying, he's like, this is not going to happen. It's like, what are you going to do, Murphy? You're going to make a difference. And then Joe's like, Murphy, go back in the ring. Tells Murphy and Seth, go back in the ring. Make your point, or he's going to slap Seth in the lips and beat down Murphy right in front of him. And Joe's like, I want to make something clear. I was laughing harder than anyone at the announce table. And then Seth's like, I don't want to do this. And then Joe's like, no, I do. So he moves his headset, and it looks like we're gonna get Samoa Joe fighting. Maybe another Samoa Joe Seth Rollins feud, since Samoa Joe injured Seth a few years ago. So I don't know if Joe's medically cleared. I think he still has a concussion. I don't know what happened, if he's medically cleared or not. So he moves his headset. Murphy backs up, and Seth and Murphy go into the ring. And Seth says, what happens in the ring is not my responsibility. So Joe's ready to kick their ass. And then we go to break. We come back. Murphy and Seth have chairs in the ring. And then out of nowhere, Dominic comes from behind, smacks Seth in the back of the head with a good old kendo stick shot. Thinks he's the fucking Sandman. But Seth grabs the stick, swings, Dominic ducks, and Seth smacks Murphy with it. Dominic then takes down Seth with a great takedown. Starts mounting him, punching him, and then sends Seth into the ropes. Dominic hits a 619 from the left side, not the way that his father does it. Then he goes to the top rope, and he hits a big splash, hits a high crossbody splash on a Murphy and Seth. Dominic then gets in the ring, grabs a chair, starts smacking the mat, getting ready for a fight. Seth then stands at the top of the ramp, and then he gets on the mic and says, you want a match with me, Dominic? I accept. So that match is now official for SummerSlam. So that's the third match official for SummerSlam. Seth Rollins will take on Dominic. I think somehow Rey Mysterio will get involved and Dominic will win the match. But we'll see. That's that. And while this is going on, Joe is back on commentary, which kind of felt weird. I thought Joe was going to be on the outside cheering Dominic on, or maybe helping Dominic. But he goes back on commentary. He's like, go get him, Dominic! Yeah! And that's that. So we'll see what happens over the next couple weeks with Dominic and Seth Rollins, and you still got Murphy around there. So Murphy's going to be at ringside, I assume, for the match at Slam. We get involved. Maybe, like I said, Ray might come back with his one eye and help out his son. I think Dominic's got to get his ass handed to him, but I think he's still going to win the match, thanks to his dad. And then that feud continues on, probably. But we'll see what happens. And that's pretty much it. So I gave all that 2.5 out of 5 stars. And like I said, we'll see what happens next week on the program. And that's it. And then we move on. All right, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. I want to finish this video up and edit it and then probably go to bed. And that's that. But, I'm so wired right now. I might probably stay up to 7, 8 o'clock in the morning again like I did Saturday night and the Sunday morning. But we shall see what happens. That's that. Excuse me. All right. After that, we end the show. Once Raw Underground. This time we see Dolph Ziggler wrestling some dude. And he mounts him on the back. And then he thrusted forward. I was like, did he just fuck him in the ass? So like, what the fuck? Drops some elbows, knocks in a 1925 sleeper, taps out, and after we get a decision, like Shane McMahon coming in, like, that's it. So somebody actually won via decision. So get that. So Dolph Ziggler wins. And then in come the Hurt Business, MVP, Lashley and Shelton. Lashley enters the ring immediately. So MVP has an announcement, and until further notice, Raw Underground is under new management. The Hurt Business is controlling it. And since they all like to fight, they came to fight. So who wants to step up to Lashley? So we get this guy come in. Looks like, I don't know, he kind of looked like John Cena. But he gets powerbombed and gets knocked out with a right hand. So Lashley wins. So MVP's like, I want some of this. Give me some of this. So he picks on this not big guy, but a short little twerp. Maybe it was Marco Stunt. I don't know. MVP mounts him, drives some elbows into the face, and then the referee had to stop it. And then Lashley tosses the jabroni out of the ring. So MVP's like, who's next? And we see Shelton in the middle of the ring. And then we see this big, tall dude with dreadlocks. And MVP's like, I think he said something about your mama. Oh, you don't piss off Shelton's mama. Don't want to piss Shelton's mama off here. We've seen that in the past. Back in the Ruthless Aggression era. That big woman that was Shelton's mom. She was funny. She was funny. That was some good stuff back in the day. So the dreadlock guy calls Shelton out. Shelton legs, mounts him with some punches, drives some knees into the head and then the side, and then rolls the guy out. So basically we get nothing. All leave the ring, beat everybody down around the ring, except for the ladies, of course. He beat him down, asking for a fight. I think MVP threw a guy out the door, and we see that it's daylight because they taped the show earlier in the day. Morons. It's not light outside. It is what it is. So then after that, Shane congratulates them. And then we got replays of this crap. This crap that was basically most of the third hour. Look at that. Then we come back to MVP. He says, we are the Hurt Business, and business is booming. So I guess this was a way to get the Hurt Business over or to get ratings. I don't know what it was. I think it's a bad way to get the Hurt Business over, but it is what it is. And that was that for Monday Night Raw. So I gave that final segment 2 out of 5 stars. And I guess we're gonna see this every third hour for the next few weeks, which I think is stupid. It's fucking stupid. Just to fill time and to try to get ratings. It's a ratings ploy by Shane McMahon and Vince. Just to get Shane back on TV and it brings something new to WWE. Like I said, basically it's Brawl for All 2.0, but this time we're not using boxing. We're not gonna get Butterbean and Bart Gunn and that horrible match that was at SummerSlam. Now they're catering to the MMA crowd, and I don't know why people are liking this. Why? Joe Cronin didn't like it. I don't like it. Nothing. Yeek. Thundering outside. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. So the tropical storm, Isaias, or whatever the fuck it is, it's on its way. So gotta batten down the hatches over the next couple hours. I gotta hope nothing bad happens to my house, like it floods or anything. God forbid we get another Sandy and I have to vacate the house. I might have to go down with the ship. I don't know. Like I said, it's going to be really windy here. Lots of rain, flooding. But it's going to be out of here, hopefully, really quickly. And that's that. So it is what it is. So that's that. But like I said, going back to my original point, I know it's almost 2.5 hours in for this video. It's going to be a long video. I apologize for that. But it is what it is. I like to talk to my fans. If you don't like it, well, fuck you. This whole Raw Underground thing, I don't know how long it's gonna last. Hopefully not too long. I don't think it's gonna help ratings that much, but we'll see tomorrow or later on today what's gonna happen with this fucking shit. And like I said, I think it was just a ratings ploy, just to get ratings for the 3rd hour, or get ratings period for Raw. I don't think it's going to work. I really don't think it's going to work. But these fucking marks that from the Attitude Era are loving this idea. And like I said, it's your own opinion. You are entitled to your own opinion. But my opinion matters the most, as always. I don't like it. I think it was just filler. And maybe to get the Hurt Business over, get MVP Lashley and Shelton Benjamin over. That's what I think. That was the way to put them over. But Raw this week, another stinker, another stinker. A lot of people were giving it 2s, giving it 3s. I'm gonna go right around there. I'm gonna give it a good old Bret Hart 4 out of 10 stars. And nothing great. I mean, we got Dominic and Seth announced for SummerSlam. We got the Street Profits against Andrade and Angel Garza for the Raw Tag Team belts announced. More storyline progression with that. We got more storyline progression with Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton. We got see what happens with that. So SummerSlam's starting to come around. We're gonna get more stuff this Friday night on SmackDown. Some more matches probably announced. We got 2 weeks away, so they're formulating the card. And you can hear it. You probably can hear it if you listen very carefully. Outside my window, thundering and lightning and Satan's coming down. The Undertaker's coming out. Hopefully I don't lose power, because that'll suck, because I gotta charge my batteries, my phones and everything, so I might have to start doing that right now. That's that. Good thing I have a backup phone, but I have, I have a brand new phone and a brand new number. So I have my old phone, still works. The only thing I can do is go on the internet with that. So if I lose power, I'm fucked. I can't call anybody. I can't charge my phone. I can't go on the computer. I can go on my. Well, if I lose power, I can't go on the internet. I can't do anything. So hopefully, praying that they don't lose power over the next couple hours. But we'll see what happens with that. And that's pretty much it. So Raw, like I said, gets 4 out of 10 stars. And we'll see what happens on Friday Night SmackDown. With all that. And that's it. So I'm going to end up shop right now with a couple more comments. My good buddy Hayat Alejandro Ponce Claza. He says, will you see the champions this week? What champions? You got to be specific on that. So I can't really answer that. What time is it? It's 4:13 a.m. I know I've gone late. I've gone late again with my videos. I don't care. So it's time for you to go to bed. That's what I say. I got to go to bed. So I'm gonna edit this up and then I'm gonna hit the bed. Because I gotta talk to the doctor tomorrow. My weekly doctor, my weekly therapy session with my doctor that I fucking hate. But it is what it is. I was gonna go out tomorrow. I have to do some errands, but since this fucking tropical storm's coming, I can't do that. So I might have to do my errands on Wednesday after work. I got a morning shift on Wednesday, which is always fun. So I have to go to bed really early tomorrow night. Get up at 7 o'clock in the morning to go to work. And I get out at about 3:30, quarter to 4. By the time I get home, probably around 5:30, 6 o'clock. So I got I got some errands to do. Then I'm gonna watch AEW on Wednesday night. Gonna give you my review on the Peter Gilmer YouTube wrestling channel. That, and then Thursday, I gotta work a couple hours. I'm gonna come home, watch NXT. Then give you my NXT review. And if anything else happens, maybe I'll talk about it on my NXT review, or I'll do a separate video. But we'll see. And then Friday night, SmackDown review. Right after SmackDown, to end the weekend, the first weekend of August. And then we got the weekend. That's it. First weekend of August. See what happens with all that shit. Should be some good stuff. So some good wrestling action this week with AEW and NXT. We'll see what happens with that. Another week of the Wednesday Night War. See if AEW can win for another week, or NXT will come back and win. We'll see. We got SmackDown. See what happens with that as we get closer and closer to TakeOver 30 and SummerSlam. See what happens with that. And then right after that, we've got about a week. A week after that, week or so after that, we got All Out 3 from AEW, which should be a great show, great event. And then we got Labor Day. We got the start of football, hopefully. Hockey, basketball, and baseball still be going on, hopefully, but we'll see. The fucking New York Rangers look to be out of it. I think they play tomorrow, game 3 of their best of 5. They're gonna win all the next 3 to survive and go to the seeding the next round. But the way it looks, I don't think it's gonna be. It's gonna be a really short season for the New York Rangers. Henrik Lundqvist needs to go. He's fucking washed up. They should have started Igor or Georgiev, but they didn't do that. Wanted to go with experience, and they fucked it up. Looks like the Rangers are about to get the number 1 pick of the draft, which is nice. But we'll see. I'm hoping for at least to get 1 win. I mean, let it go to 4 and maybe make it interesting. But Carolina was a 6th seed. This year, the Rangers were the number 11 seed. So, doesn't look good for the Rangers, which sucks. So I wanted to see the Rangers maybe make a nice run for the playoffs, but it's not going to happen. So I don't know what's going to happen with that. Basketball's still going on. It's nice and dandy. The Mets won tonight. Finally broke the schneid thanks to DeGrom. Finally got him some run support. Even though they lost Cano, they lost McNeil, they lost Rosario to injuries. Hopefully not long-term injuries because we need a lot of guys. So now the Mets go to, I think, to DC to face the Nationals. That should be fun. Probably lose all those games down there. See what happens with that. The Yankees are 8-1. Ugh. Break them up. Go figure. Judge is going berserk. Got like 6 home runs right now. 5 or 6 home runs, leading the league. Yankees are just on fire. I hate to say it, but they're on fire right now. Best team in the league right now, I believe. But they're just on fire right now. I don't think anybody can stop them. This might be their year. It might be. It's a shortened season. This doesn't count. So even if they win their 28th to 29th title, doesn't count. Big asterisk on it. So all of you Yankees fans like, oh, we got number 29. We got number 29. We're the world champs. Doesn't matter. It does not matter because it's a shortened season. Just give yourselves the COVID belt or the COVID trophy, whatever it is. Because you basically got it because of COVID. That's it. I'm worried about next year when it's hopefully a full season, a full 162-game season. I don't give 2 shits about this season. The Mets are 4-7. The Yankees are 8-1. The Mets are 3 games back. Maybe this is the turnaround. I don't know. Got 48 games left. So anything can happen. I still think the Mets are going to get like 25, maybe 30 wins. Probably maybe or maybe not make the playoffs. I'm hoping they do, but not that they're going to go anywhere. The way the Yankees are going, I think they'll make the playoffs and probably go to the ALCS again. Probably face the Astros. Those cheaters. But the way the Yankees are going, I think they could beat the Astros this time. Then maybe go to the World Series, probably face whoever comes out of the National League. Who knows? But that's all I got to say about that. Fuck the Yankees, man. Fuck their fans, too. That's all I got to say about it. All right, everybody, that's it. This long 2.5-hour video is done. It's almost 4:30 in the morning. I'm going to go to bed. Or try to go to bed. I'm going to edit this baby up, go to bed, and then I'll worry about this fucking storm. Hopefully nothing happens, no power outages or damage to the house. Because I don't have the money to fix the fucking shit. So pray for me here in the Northeast, in New Jersey, and in New York City, especially New York City, and Connecticut, where my good buddy Jeffrey Rose is, and Boston, where my good buddy Joe Cronin is. So hopefully nothing happens. Everybody's safe from this fucking tropical storm. That's very basically nothing, but it is what it is. But you never can tell with tropical storms and hurricanes. But it's moving quickly, so it's going to be in and out, like my dick in your mama's ass. And we'll see what happens with all that. So that's it for now. Thank you all for watching. Have a great rest of your Monday night. If you're on the West Coast, go to sleep. If you're on the East Coast, I hope you're sleeping. Or if you're still up, go to sleep. And that's it for that. So Raw, like I said, 4 out of 10 stars. Nothing to write home about. Raw Underground fucking sucked. Most of the show was kind of blah. And we'll see what happens next week on Monday Night Raw. We got Kevin Owens and Randy Orton one-on-one. Should be a good match. We got Asuka and Bayley one-on-one, non-title, of course. If Asuka wins, she will face Sasha Banks for the Raw Women's Championship. And we'll see what happens with that. Shayna Baszler's waiting in the wings. So whoever wins is probably going to lose to Shayna. So we'll see what happens with that. Hopefully we'll get an update on Montez Ford. Hopefully he's okay with his poisoning. What happens with the Raw Tag Team titles. We'll see what happens with Drew McIntyre. Maybe he gets involved in that Kevin Owens, Randy Orton match to further that storyline. And we'll see what happens with the Hurt Business. We'll maybe find out who this new faction is with these 5 guys. I don't know. I think they got some NXT, but we'll see. We'll see who they are, maybe. We'll find out who they are. Or maybe we'll get more technical difficulties next week. Who knows? And that's pretty much all I gotta say about that. So Raw should be interesting next week. Not that's gonna be anything of a ratings killer, but it is what it is. So that's that. Thank you all for watching. Thank you to everybody who came into the chat and was watching on YouTube and Facebook and Twitter, or wherever you were watching me from. Thank you to Jair, as always, for coming in. Thank you to my good buddy Little Fettuccini. Thank you to Birdman for coming in. All the newcomers for coming in. Birdman, Angry Popcorn TV. Thank you to my good buddy Jock Rules 321. And like I said, anybody else who watched the video, big ups to my good buddy Scott Casey Gale as well for coming into the video. Thank you for chiming in with your comments. And that's pretty much all I got to say about that. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your comments, as always. I appreciate it. I thank you for all the love and support. Keep up with the love and support. Share my videos all over the internet. Make sure to tap that bell. Turn on all my notifications. If you're new or if you're not new, turn on all my notifications. Tap that bell to find out when I go live next, so you don't miss a beat. Friend me on Facebook. Follow me on Twitter at my Twitter link, which is down below in the description box. Subscribe to all my other channels as well. All the links are down below in the description box. So there's no reason not to subscribe, and you can't find my channels. And also check out my video on The Rock buying the XFL. Check that out. Give it some love. Smash that like button. That's share it with ladies and gentlemen. All right. Thank you. Have a day. Maybe tomorrow, if there's anything happening in the wrestling world that's important, I might be back tomorrow, probably on my phone if I have power. But we'll see. Hopefully the storm doesn't mess up my power and I don't get power for a while. But we shall see. So Isaiah, you can kiss my fucking ass. And all this fucking storm can kiss my fucking ass. And that's it. So thank you for watching. Once again, 4 out of 10 stars for 4 out of 10 stars for Raw. And we'll see what happens next week on Monday Night Raw on the USA Network and the WWE Network for that low price of $9.99. So we'll see what happens on NXT this Wednesday, along with NXT, with AEW and NXT this Wednesday night. And I'll be back Wednesday with my AEW review, give you all the analysis and feedback and all that good stuff. Come to chat. We'll have a nice little talk. Maybe, hopefully, maybe for another couple hours. We'll see. Hopefully, not too long. I know this is almost 2 hours, almost going on 3 hours now. My longest video ever. So thank you all for that. It is what it is. All right. Thank you for watching. I'm Peter Gilmore signing off. Peace out. Rock on. If you're not down with that, that's too damn bad. And fuck you, man. Keep up with the dislikes, haters, because I love them. Thanks for the views. Because that's all you give me. More views, because I love it. That's all I got to say about that. So thank you for watching. Good night, everybody. I'm out. Peace, bitches.